Hi, I'm Kara. I have a small business selling crochet plushies and patterns. I also make YouTube videos of tutorials, vlogs, as well as just chatting about my small business. So in this video, I wanted to talk a bit about how I got started selling crochet patterns, specifically the steps I took in order to get my first $100 on Etsy. I first started to crochet back in high school. I learned off of tutorials on YouTube. So, full circle, I just made a couple plushies and a couple other items. Like, I tried to make a sock and a glove, but I don't think I ever wore them. I also made like a beanie hat. That's a classic. I really enjoyed making things. I was always very artsy, so whatever I could make, I would make. But after I made those, I kind of just stopped for a few years actually. I am a hobby hopper, I would say, so I would really get into one hobby and then I would just switch to another. So I was just into crochet at that one time, and then eventually I started doing something else probably. I didn't pick up crochet again until 2020, so COVID time. Of course, we were all a bit bored at home and I got back into crochet. I think I only made a couple projects. Probably I made like a gift for my friend and then I made my own little plushie for myself, and that was basically it. Yeah, and then I took a break for a few more years. At the end of 2023, I quit my job, my corporate job as a UX designer, and my initial plan was to get another job. But then I had the delusional idea that I would start a crochet business. And so for the past year, I've been trying to grow my little crochet business, trying to support myself that way. I made some progress, which is nice. I wouldn't say I'm able to support myself completely financially, but it is like a little bit of money that helps me stay alive. So that's going great. After I had the idea that I would start a crochet business, I wanted to learn more about the crochet community and just learn more about crochet in general. I opened up an Instagram account, TikTok account, and then a YouTube account all in one go. So my idea was that I would start sharing the crochet that I make in order to start connecting with other crocheters. So Amikara Co was born. I chose the name because what I make usually is crochet plushies, so amigurumi, and then my name is Kara, Amikara, and then Co for like company or whatever. Basically, the idea was that I would grow my social media presence. Once I felt comfortable with like my skills in crochet, I would be able to sell my own patterns. So I first opened my crochet account July 18th, 2023. And then my first post was actually a plushie I made during COVID. Then after I opened my crochet account, I started crocheting, of course, and I would crochet free patterns at first. And then if I really felt like I wanted to do a pattern, I would buy it too. And I was pretty ambitious, I would say, so I really wanted to start designing as soon as I could. It didn't take me very long. To keep getting better at crochet, I would do the free patterns that I saw on Instagram, as well as apply to tester calls, and hopefully if I get into those, I can practice more on those patterns that they provide me to test. So that was my plan for learning. I just wanted to start designing as soon as possible, so I designed and learned at the same time, and I knew that, I don't know, I just had to get started. After I played around with some free patterns, I was able to understand how the stitches work together and create a different shape. I just started sketching my own designs and just made whatever I felt like making. I would just sketch out the basic shapes for those plushies and I would try to recreate them. Because I had so much experience from the free patterns, I just was able to understand how to make the stitches and the rounds create the shapes that I want. And then I was able to design my own plushies. So that was super exciting. So my fifth post was actually a bunny that I designed myself, and I was super proud of it. I thought it was super cute, and the theme I wanted for my crochet account, I would advise you if you're gonna make a crochet account to have like I guess a branding in mind. So my idea was just I like cute things, I like florals, I like bunnies, and I like cats, and that was mostly what the vibe I wanted to go with. It's just like a cutesy, animalistic floral vibe. I definitely had under 50 followers at this time, but I decided I would post a tester call because I designed another pattern and it was like this marshmallow bunny. It was super simple, super small, but I thought it was cute. And then so I had a tester call. That was my very first tester call, and I had a couple people join, thankfully. Literally, I only got 5 comments on that post. But super grateful for the first testers that I had. 2 weeks later, I posted it as a free pattern. And I think what really helped me grow my Instagram account was posting these free patterns. So I'd have a tester call asking people to join. And to join the tester call, they would have to follow me. So I gained quite a few followers just by having tester calls. 2 months after I opened my Instagram account, that is when I created my first paid pattern. And it was this tiger. Ulin the tiger. I named it after my boyfriend. I did have experience with creating PDF designs because I am a UX designer, or I was a UX designer, so it was pretty easy for me to translate my designs into a PDF. At first I used Figma, but I currently use Canva, which is very user-friendly. And I also use Canva for like all my Instagram posts now because it's just like so easy to use. So I definitely recommend Canva if you're getting started just on social media or designing your own PDF patterns. I do have a template that I created in a previous video. I'm going to link that below if you're interested in using the template to create your own PDF patterns. It's just a basic template. It shows you what you need in a pattern, or what I currently put in my patterns, which is like the materials, abbreviations, what the actual instructions of the patterns look like, how I put my pictures, and then I have like a little thank you note at the end. So check that out if you're interested in seeing what a PDF pattern would look like. Just an example or sort of like an inspiration. So I know when I first started designing my own patterns, I first checked like other people's patterns, either from like me testing their patterns or the patterns I bought, just to see what kind of instructions they also added in their patterns. I noted all the things that I liked about their patterns, like how they wrote the brackets, how they listed like the materials and things like that. And so I would use those same features that I enjoyed and I put it into like my own pattern instructions. So if you think that my template would be helpful, it's going to be down below. So I had 200 followers when I released my first pattern on Etsy. I'm definitely very thankful for those first 200 followers that like gave me a shot, and one of those followers actually bought my pattern on Etsy. I just wanted to say that you really don't need to grow your social media like that huge to get started selling your patterns. I only had 200 followers when I released my first pattern. I would just say get started, and as long as you're consistent and you're trying to improve in every post, you'll get better every time, and your patterns will get better, your plushies will get better, and then your followers will grow. It's just like the amount of time and effort you're putting into this is really going to show. And yeah, that's how I was able to get from 200 followers with one pattern to now I have almost 15,000 followers on Instagram, and I have about 20 patterns on my Etsy shop, so super happy about that now. Just realizing that is super crazy. It's only been 1 year, and I grew that much. I'm super happy about that. So I decided to go with Etsy because on the platform they already have customers, and because I only had like a few followers, I knew that I would also want to target some of the users that Etsy has, or some of the customers that Etsy already brings through their platform. So that's why I focused more on Etsy over other options. I also had a coffee and a Ribbler that I was trying to sell on, but I didn't see much traffic on those sites, so I decided to stay with Etsy instead. Another site I think is Big Cartel, and also like opening your own website. But if you're just getting started, I wouldn't recommend opening your own website because the cost is pretty high. If you just want to like experiment in selling your crochet plushies or patterns, I would say it would be best to stick with a platform that has like a customer base already, like Etsy. So super nice to get started. But once you start growing your social media and you have more of an audience that could see the patterns that you're making and go directly to like your site or wherever you direct them to, that's when you probably wouldn't need Etsy so much. But I still need Etsy. I'm okay paying the fees because I think currently 70% of my traffic is actually from Etsy. When I first got started, I was kind of relying on like a few of my followers to buy my patterns just because customers on Etsy are probably hesitant to buy anything from you if you have no reviews or purchases. My idea was that I was going to grow my social media account, so my Instagram, so that people would know me, I guess, as a person, as a designer personally, so they would be more comfortable after seeing the other plushies that I make, as well as me talking about the pattern that I'm making, my videos, like my reels and things, so that they would be more comfortable purchasing from me on Etsy. And once I got those few sales through my social media, then I received more sales through actual Etsy customers because they were able to see my ratings and my reviews, and then they felt more comfortable buying from my shop. So that was basically the plan. My first tip for selling on Etsy would be to have quality pictures. I usually take my pictures outside very simply because I still have a hard time with lighting, and to guarantee good lighting, I wanted to use sunlight. So in a majority of my pictures is just me using sunlight because it's the easiest way for me to have good looking pictures. So I just go outside and I take pictures of my crochet projects in the sun, and usually they look nice. I usually edit on Snapseed, that's a free app on my iPhone. And because I have good lighting from taking pictures outside, I don't need to edit the pictures very much. So then I just tweak it a little bit and then I'm able to post it on my social media or when I publish a pattern on Etsy. I would also recommend having a video so that people can see your design from different angles, as well as just see physical proof that it's real. Just because there are AI patterns on Etsy, basically people are trying to scam customers into buying patterns that they generated through AI. That's not necessarily good. People are still buying them because the image is so nice, but the pattern, when you actually use it, it doesn't turn out how the picture is because it's AI generated. So if you have like a video and multiple pictures of the design plushie that you have, then it's just more proof that your design is real and they have more of a reason to buy from you. So you want to maximize the tags that you're using so that it helps with SEO, so search engine optimization. It's basically just adding keywords into your title, your description, and your tags so that when people search for your pattern or plushie, that you have the relevant terms on your listing so that Etsy knows to show your listing to the customers. Definitely don't cram in words to your title and your description just because, but just being descriptive and clear about what you are actually selling. Of course, you can optimize your listings in the future and keep making them better. But just to get started, I think those tips, as long as you keep those tips in mind, you'll be successful in creating your listings. social media really helped me get my first few orders. So now I get more of my sales organically through Etsy, which I'm super happy about. And that's all thanks to me growing my social media. So I would highly, highly recommend as you are learning crochet that you are sharing it and you are posting on your social media to expand your presence online and hopefully get more sales. So those are the steps that I took in order to start selling on Etsy and to get my first $100 selling crochet patterns. I'm excited to share more about starting my small business. So if you have any questions for me about literally anything about my small business or my social media or me personally, I would love to answer them. So feel free to leave me a comment below. So thank you for watching. I hope we can all stay delusional together and grow our small businesses and just do things that make us happy. I'm very grateful that you watched this video. I hope that it was helpful and that you learned something and that maybe you're inspired to start either selling crochet or just selling anything that you're interested in. All right, have a nice day. I hope you're happy and healthy and that you find some joy today, hopefully from this video too. And thank you so much. See you in the next one.